Once, a very long time ago, King Alonso of Naples went on a trip far across the Mediterranean Sea. He was taking his daughter to marry a prince of Carthage. It was a long journey, so he wanted to take the people he trusted most in the world with him. First, he picked his only son, Prince Ferdinand. Then he chose his brother Sebastian. Next, he asked his oldest consultants, Gonzalo and Francisco, to come with him. Finally, he added his good friend to the group, Duke Antonio of Milan. The wedding went well. Alonso said goodbye to his daughter and began the journey home. But on the way, their ship ran into the biggest storm any of them had ever seen. Clouds that looked like black cliffs loomed over them. The sea swirled, and the ship was tossed about on the waves as if it were a leaf in the wind. "Steer us out of this!" the king desperately commanded the sailors. But although the crew did their best to battle the wind and steer the ship to safety, the storm was just too strong. Through the lashing wind and rain, an island loomed. "There!" King Alonso shouted, pointing. "We need to get there!" The crew valiantly tried to steer, but waves crashed over the side of the ship and onto the deck, knocking everyone down. "To the lifeboats!" the captain called. There was a mad scramble for the small wooden boats that sat on the deck, but another giant wave reached over and swept the lifeboats over the railing and into the churning waters below. Above the noise of the storm, they heard the ship give a huge creak. "It's splitting!" the captain yelled as the timbers of the boat began to splinter down the middle. "This is the end!" "Help! Help!" Sebastian began to call toward the shore. He waved his arms and jumped up and down. "Let us gather!" King Alonso shouted, holding his son and brother tightly. "We will stick together, and maybe help will come." "I fear this is the end," said old Gonzalo. "Let us make peace with the lives we have lived." They all huddled together and awaited their fate as the ship went down. Meanwhile, on the island, an old man stood at the top of a hill and watched the ship sink. A teenage girl came running up the hill toward him. "Father!" she shouted over the howling wind. "Did you make this storm? Stop it right now! I just watched a ship go down. The poor crew must all be dead." Her father, Prospero, turned to her, his magic staff in his hand. "Miranda, calm down. There is no harm done." Miranda glared at her father. "How can you say that?" Her father smiled at her. "I have done nothing but take care of you. You don't know who you really are, or who I really am." "But what more is there to know?" Miranda blinked at him. "I never thought there was anything else to know." "It's time I tell you everything," Prospero said. "Help me take my magic cloak off." Miranda reached up to remove her father's heavy magic cloak, and he laid it on the ground. "First things first, Miranda. Dry your tears and calm yourself. Nobody on that boat will come to harm. Now sit down. I have more to tell you." Miranda sat obediently. Prospero waved a hand at her. "Tell me, can you remember anything before we came to this island? I think you were not yet 3 years old." "Yes, I can," Miranda confirmed. "What can you remember?" Prospero asked curiously. "It feels like so long ago, and almost like a dream," Miranda began hesitantly. "But did we have servants?" "We did, and more," Prospero cried. "I'm amazed that you remember that. It has been 12 years since then. Since I was the Duke of Milan, and we lived there with your beloved mother. You won't remember my brother, your uncle Antonio, who also lived in Milan. We used to be very close.